I guess you have one or more faulty electrical fittings in your house and you've been looking for an electrician to help you fix them, all to no avail. Now, you've made up your mind to fix them yourself, right? I hope you are not trying to use your kitchen knife to do so. Yes, in my previous video, we discussed about 5 reasons why people fall into electrical hazards such as minor electric shock. So, if you love yourself and you care about your safety and stick around to the end of this video, I'm going to be discussing some few tools that you need to fix such electrical faults in your home, either as a self-electrician or an upcoming electrician. So, firstly, we're going to talk about those tools that you need, their uses, and the necessary guides. And secondly, I'm going to be sharing my experience with you, how I use some of these tools and the tips that you need to take home. And I'm going to show you some of the temptations involved in practical use, or when you are practically trying to fix some of these electrical fittings yourself. Before the end of this video, I'm going to give you an advice as a take home, so don't miss that advice. So, taking a look at some of the tools that we need, either as an upcoming electrician or a self-electrician, we'll talk about voltage tester. It is an instrument used to test if a wire is live, is carrying voltage, whether the voltage is low or high. As a beginner, you can make use of this voltage tester. You can make use of this where you have to make contacts. This one is used in a way that one of your fingers must touch here. You must touch the top and make contacts with your body. Yes, because you are acting as the act. Because when you bring the act and the life, it gives you light. So when you touch the top and use the bottom, the screw part, the screwdriver base, to touch the wire, it will show light here. That is number one. So you try as much as possible to make use of it before you start using it, before you depend on this. Test it first on live wire first. Second tool is a pin plier. If you take a look at this image, you're going to see a pin plier. You're also going to see how it's being used. Now, what do we use it for? A pin plier is an electrical instrument used for bending wire, for gripping, for tightening. As in, when the space is tight, when the space is very tight, the space will not contain this. It will not contain this particular plier. We make use of the pin plier. So if you take a look at this image, you see a pin plier. You see how the tip is very narrow and smaller than this particular pliers. So the pin plier is very useful because where this cannot enter, the pin plier will enter and give you what you want. Next one here is the insulated screwdrivers. If you take a look at this image, you see a set of insulated screwdrivers. Now, I want you to notice that this particular screwdriver is not insulated. This part of this screwdriver is not insulated like what you are seeing in the image. So what the problem there is that one may be asking, are they not the same? The socket, is it not switched off? The circuit breaker is turned off already. Yes, but there is a clause somewhere. There is a problem somewhere. Like, there was a day I went to my friend's house. I was discussing different thing with him, and he called me. He said, please come and check one of my sockets, please. I didn't go with any of my tools. So getting there, he gave me something that looks like this. So while I tried to loosen the socket, I noticed that the screw was very tight. So I decided to grip the screwdriver very well so that I'll be able to loosen the screws. So why I tried that, I received a shock. I was like, what is the problem? Why did the screw shock me? So I held it back, and when I loosened it, I noticed that the screw pierced the live wire. Yes, it pierced the live wire and it was live. Yes. So that is why you should have this. You should have the insulated screwdriver. Yes, the next instrument, if you take a look at this image, you see it is a multimeter showing there. Now the multimeter is used to check current, voltage or resistance. Before you check your current, voltage or resistance, remember to set it to whatever you want to use it for. If you want to check the voltage or the current flowing in a particular circuit, now you go to your DB, open your DB, check your put one leg at the live connected to your circuit breaker and one leg to the neutral, where the neutral panel is. It will give you the exact reading of the voltage in that particular circuit. Likewise the current. So, but you must be very careful. This instrument is a very delicate instrument. If you set it wrongly, it may affect the instrument. Now, let me talk about your safety goggles and your safety gloves. The safety goggle is used to protect your eyes, especially when you are doing some work that involves debris. For instance, if you are using this machine, if you are using this cutting machine, you have to cut part of the wall where you want to lay a pipe or something. We have the smaller one. This one is mainly used for concrete. So this is a concrete cutter. If you are cutting the concrete, or before you do that, you have to put on your PPE, your personal protective equipment. You have to cover your eyes with your safety goggles so that debris doesn't enter your eye. There are other things you may be doing as well, and you may need to cover your eyes, to protect your eyes from debris. Yes, you need to cover your eyes so that particles will not enter your eyes. And lastly, we talk about the gloves, the safety gloves, the electrical gloves. You have to put on your gloves to protect your hands from electric shock. I'll talk about the tips and some of the personal advice I'll give you based on my experience. Like I said before, that using the right materials will not only save your time, it will not only save you time, but it will save you from avoidable accidents. Yes, it will save you from avoidable accidents, and it will make you do your work neatly and go your way, still safe. So, some of the things I need to tell you, some of the tips I need to tell you is that these tools need to be taken care of. Don't just drop your tools anyhow. Like I said before, the multimeter used for checking, testing, or checking your voltage, your current and resistance is a delicate instrument. You have to use it with optimal care. Then after which you keep it safe. We talk about the screwdrivers. The screwdrivers need to be kept in a very good place and it should be protected, like your pin pliers, your pliers, your cutters, and all the rest of them. I want to talk about the glove, for instance, the goggles. Your goggle should be anti-fall, anti-scratch coating. It should have anti-scratch coating such that it will not easily be scratched, and it should cover your eyes very well. Yes, I'm not talking about sunglasses. I'm talking about goggles to protect your eyes. For safety purposes, you need a good one. Then, about your hand gloves, you should pick hand gloves that doesn't have leakage. Yes, even from the market, some of them have factory faults, and you just get to the market or you send someone, buy this for me, the person will just pick it. Or you want to buy a tester, a voltage tester, you didn't even test it while you were buying them. You didn't test them, you just pick them and bought material. No, you have to bring them home. You have to test them before you bring them home. I have experience. That was the day I picked it from the office. I was working on a live component. So somebody just brought the hand gloves. I put it on. I wasn't there actually. I just came in order to check that. So after putting on my PPEs, I went straight to that point. Thank God it was a low voltage component. So I went there not knowing that the hand glove was actually leaking, and it was in a bank. Yes, I went to the bank, I entered the bank, and we were carrying out a project. So I went there at the DB. I was trying to do something, and I was trying to hold something. So the moment I touched one of the wires in order to join it with another wire, then I can apply my insulation tape, I received a very serious electric shock. So you need to be very careful in making use of these tools. All these tools will save your life. If you take care of them, they will take care of you in saving your life. So I want you to know that it is vice versa. When you take good care of them, they will take good care of you. And before you wear them, before you make use of them, you make sure they are in perfect condition. Before I bow out, I want to advise you, yes, you tried fixing your socket. You have your screwdriver, you don't have your cutter, you don't have your pliers, but you want to use knife to cut the wire. And remember, you did not switch off your socket from the breaker, the circuit breakers. And while you are doing that, you are taking risk. You are trying to cut the wire because there was a breakage. Maybe the person that fixed it before, where there was a damage somewhere, or there was a wound on the main copper and it has cut. And now you want to use knife, your kitchen knife. You forgot that the same knife you are using reaches where your hand is and you are holding it. For instance, you are using this type of knife to peel the insulated part of the wire so that you can fix it there at your socket and make your terminals. So then you use this to peel off the insulated part so that you can fix it back. You forget that it is also connected to your hand. Why you want to do that? It is a temptation. It is a temptation. So you don't use your kitchen knife to fix your socket. It's an advice. Take it. Thank you. Have a nice day. See you in our next upload. Bye.